Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 28th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call roll, please.
Sure. Mayor Gentry?
Here.
Becky McClure?
Present.
Bill Stoner?
Present.
Dick Robertson?
Here.
Alan Milburn?
Present.
Thank you.
We do have the minutes from our October 15th meeting. Any edits, changes to those minutes? Would entertain a motion to approve?
Move to approve the minutes of October 15.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. All right, on department head reports. First up, will be Police Department, Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 718 calls for service, and a total of 6 people were arrested for the following crimes. 1 for operating while intoxicated, 1 was arrested on a warrant, 3 for domestic battery, 1 for possession of a controlled substance. In that same time frame, LPD took 30 crash reports and sent 1 gun permit off to the state for final approval. For training, on October 15th, our defensive tactics instructors went over some new techniques on gaining control of a person who's on the ground and resisting. That's all I got. It was fall break, so we were shorthanded.
Chief, any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has responded to 115 emergency calls for service, logged 337 training hours, completed 101 commercial inspections, and hosted 5 public education classes. October 16th through the 18th, LFD participated in live fire training hosted by the Whitestown Fire Department. Training focused on breaching, fire behavior, search, and fire suppression. Our 2 LHS interns, Carly Adams and Taylor O'Brien, participated one of the nights and had a really great time. We appreciate the Whitestown Fire Department hosting this valuable training. It always puts an interesting spin on it, doing it, in the dark. Very fortunate to be able to do the training. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, all LFD shifts will be participating in Highline rope rescue training. So you may see crews out over Prairie Creek and Williams Street Bridge doing Highline rescue. We have a floating training dummy, if you will, that we can put in bodies of water. And we're using Highline systems with a litter or a Stokes basket to rescue those victims. So you should be seeing the fire crews out doing that over the next 2 weeks. Last Thursday and Friday, we completed a captain and lieutenant's process. I am happy to announce that Sam Doherty has been promoted to the rank of captain. We will be reviewing the results of the lieutenants and we'll make an announcement next Wednesday. And then we will be swearing in those Captain Doherty and the new lieutenant at the next council meeting. I'd like to thank Elite Public Safety. That's the company that we use for our promotion processes. It's impartial. They bring in a board from other fire departments, and we really like how they run their processes. We're going to continue with them. Last Saturday night, LFD participated in Mischief on Meridian. Just want to brag on the Heart of Lebanon. Just an excellent job with this event. It's probably the largest event I've seen downtown, the largest numbers, and just a fabulous job with it. We always enjoy going out and really appreciate their efforts. And we are finishing out the month with our final pub eds for fire safety. And our goal was to reach over 1,200 students throughout the month. And I believe we're going to reach that goal. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief from the board? From the public? Thank you, sir. All right, next will be Parks and Recreation. John Messenger.
Good evening. Look at this. This guy's 9 foot tall. There we go. Get it down to my size. Maintenance completed winterizing the irrigation lines at Gene Haas at the pool and also the baseball diamond. We've aerated all the grounds, the properties, and removed all the fountains from the hot pond and the conservation pond. We winterize those, take them out, clean them off, and store them for the winter. Also taken down 4 or 5 trees and started splitting wood for the cabin for the winter rentals. We are finishing up our fertilizing of all properties this week, removing all the annuals from the flower beds and prepping them for winter, and working on mowing and mulching the leaves that soon will be coming down, I think. We hope to plant several more memorial trees this week. Also working on a couple playgrounds. There again at Abner Longley Park, we are taking that out. So for the people that are down there, please just be mindful of our workers down there. We're planning on installation around the 16th, 17th of November. So it's quite a feat to take that out, but that'll save us some money since we're going to remove that ourselves. Really nice. Kiwanis gave us a real nice donation for that, and along with the city. The past few weeks, we have been focused on Stone Eater Bike Park Trail, maintenance and race prep, along with preparing our annual pumpkins in the park. We are preparing to install all our Christmas lights at Memorial Park, probably starting next week, and the big Christmas tree downtown on Meridian Street. The tree will be going in on November 15th, along with all the Christmas lights, and the utility are going to help us with all the Christmas lights on all the utility poles down, or the street lights downtown. Appreciate their help. Big thank you to FTIC volunteers for their time and labor last week. It's greatly appreciated. They brought out about 8 workers. Those workers, the FTIC is the Jamestown factory. Really nice of them. They've reached out. Craig Kincaid, an old school classmate, called me up and said, heck yeah, we can use the help. Our programs and events, our 2024 Pumpkins in the Park event was a big hit. Mayor saw you out there with the boys, had fun in that corn maze. Lucked out with sunshine, bright weather, with brought out a great crowd. This year we had an inflatable corn maze, and families really seemed to enjoy that extra feature. Again, I'd like to give a big thank you to John Lastly, Outdoor Solutions, for providing all the pumpkins, Lebanon IGA for helping with s'mores supplies, Timmons Feed and Farm Supply for allowing us to borrow the straw, and Refuge Coffee for serving delicious drinks. Look forward to seeing everybody again next year. We also have probably 10 pumpkins that are painted in the park office. We'll leave them there till Friday, but then they're going to be goners. Some of them left their artwork there at the table at the Memorial Park. So we have those in the office. Great artwork, by the way. On Wednesday, November 6th, the Lebanon Buffalo Wild Wings will be donating 10% of their food sales back to Lebanon Parks Department. We're very grateful for this opportunity. Again, that's November 6th at Lebanon Buffalo Wild Wings. Friday, November 8th, the Witham Family YMCA will be hosting their Veterans Drive-Through Lunch in Memorial Park. Come anytime between 11 and 12 for a free hot lunch. Tanya, your daughter, is instrumental in that, and it's great. Great for all the veterans. Please get out. Again, 11 to 12 on November 8th. We have announced our date for Christmas in the Cabin and the Christmas Parade. It will take place on Saturday, December 7th. Christmas in the Cabin is from 9:30 to 12:30, and Christmas Parade will begin at 6 o'clock. Follow our social media and our website for more information. Carriage rides, here's the big one. Carriage ride signups will be released on November 4th at 8 a.m. Make sure to call the Parks office at 482-8860 to secure your spots. Those spots will fill up very fast. We have 3 carriages, but call at 8 o'clock that date and get them in there. Again, we also have another playground features going in at Memorial Park. This was from Taylor O'Brien. He's an Eagle Scout, a senior at Lebanon High School. He raised quite a bit of money, over $20,000 for this project, and that installation will go in this month also. It's a musical entertainment there, and really looking forward to it. And he's done a great job, so want to give a shout out to him. But we'll have a couple playgrounds by the end of the month in November, hopefully. So that's all I had.
Thank you, John. You didn't mention the Stoner Bike Park opening.
No, Kevin, I'm
Okay.
not going to steal his thunder.
Fair
Kevin
enough.
Krulik has worked on that project
Fair
for
enough.
5 years, and I mean, he's lived it, breathed it, and no, there's several. And
It is
we
a
have a
city
couple
park, though.
guys. I'm really excited too. We have we also have a couple gentlemen in the room. Got a bid opening. Pretty excited about that. About our pickleball courts. Looking forward to that. So that's all I had.
Thank you, John. Any other
Yes.
questions for John from the board? From the public? Okay, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Engineering Department, Kevin Krulik.
Thank you. Good evening. Sorry, let me get to the right window here. Engineering Department update for you this evening. One personnel item, I'm just happy to report that Zach Burge has accepted a position as our open project manager position, officially starting in that position last Tuesday. And just getting him up to speed. Zach is a promotion from within the planning department, who's current building inspector. And so he's still kind of doing double duties, helping through the building inspections as the planning and building department figures out who's going to fill his shoes. But so we're thankful for him I guess I'm thankful for him to join my side of the team, and we're thankful that he's willing to help us out on both sides there. So yeah, if you see Zach around helping me run projects, say hi. He's a good guy. So glad to have him. Thank you. Regional detention, just updating you there. I haven't updated you in a while. We're still waiting on CSX permitting on that one. We're hoping soon, but I've been saying that for a while. So we'll keep you updated as soon as that comes in, and we're ready to move that forward on the regional detention and regional conveyance system, primarily benefiting the Field House District. Chadwick Ditch drainage improvements should have some more recommendations from our consultant that I'll be able to share with you at your November meeting regarding recommendations for moving forward based on our meeting with the Army Corps of Engineers and IDEM on that project. Grant Street Phase 2, that project continues to move right along. I believe all of our utility relocation plans are now finalized and issued. And we've completed our engineering supplemental agreements. And at this point, there are 2 additional temporary right-of-way parcels that we need to act upon. Again, it's just temporary right-of-way for ease of construction, not permanent right-of-way. That we will be approaching those owners to finalize that and move towards stage 3 plans, all and getting ready for our letting in July of next year. Elizaville Road, happy to report that we wrapped up easements and we've started construction on that. Construction started a week ago on Monday, the 21st. Probably about 3 to 4 weeks to complete that work. When I checked in today, they've completed their tie-in at the creek, and they're working through sort of the rear and side yards, and should be by now they should be out at along the right of way Elizaville and starting to move east. But McCullough Excavating is a contractor on that, and they're moving forward as we speak. Elizaville Road and Elm Swamp intersection, I just got final plans actually earlier today. We'll be reviewing those and setting those aside for a funding request after the first of the year. And then we'll move that project forward for the reconstruction of that intersection. Let's see, Fordyce Street, a lot going on Fordyce. If you've been over in that area, it's a little hard to get to with all the activity. But essentially the western half of the project, probably western 2/3 from the where you get to the frontage of the new elementary school west. All the storm sewer is in, and we did lime stabilization last week, and stone placement is underway, as well as trenching in under drains. And then that project will continue to move to the east. Storm sewer work is turned east along the school frontage, and will continue out to John Bart Road as we move forward with lime stabilization, then stone, then under drains, then curb, then asphalt. And planning to have those done in the next few weeks. On Wht Road, nothing really new to update you there. We're just working through right-of-way engineering and buying will be our next phase. But right now, we're primarily focused on environmental permits that are needed for that project. Noble Street, all NDOT agreements and notices to proceed have been issued, and we'll be kicking off that project with our design team here shortly. Let's see, skip down. John briefly mentioned it. Stone Eater Bike Park is now open. Essentially, we've completed all of the construction elements. I want to thank everyone for all hands on deck sort of week the last week, probably last 2 weeks, really. Everyone from Ben driving to Spencer, Indiana to pick up signs and helping me to install those. Zach helped out with installing those. My daughter even helped me out with installing signs. So it literally it took a village to wrap that up and be ready for the grand opening last Friday. We are just about 5 years into that project, so it's been a little while coming. And we had an exciting weekend with NICA sort of taking over the park for practice on Saturday and racing on Sunday. I estimate by the number of cars, there were probably about 500 people in the park for that event. So that's a pretty good way to kick off the first weekend of the park. And I did not make it out there today, but I was told by a neighbor out there that there was a steady stream of cars coming and going from the park. So good sign. So thank you all for the support. Glad we were able to pull all that together, and glad to have that opening behind us at this point. The old street department garage, nothing really to report there. I think the design team was at the football game last week, as well as attended Mischief on Meridian, continuing to take stakeholder input and as well as community input on that. Pickleball courts, John mentioned this. We'll be opening those bids later in the meeting. Hopefully we'll see good numbers here shortly. Abner Longley Park Fishing Pier, we're just wrapping that up, putting the finishing touches on that. The pier is in place, the concrete walk to the pier. Really the only thing left to do would be a hand railing on that concrete walk that we'll be working on shortly, as well as then backfilling, grading, and seeding on the path work and the concrete work. Lots of portalet enclosures going in. First one at the bike park wasn't completed in time for the grand opening, as you might have noticed. And the other concrete pads are all poured at Reese Park, Hot Pond, the dog park, and the Big Four Trail trailhead behind Menards. All those pads have been poured, and those enclosures will be going up shortly. All the material is now in the hands of our installer. Let's see. DPW projects, the Anderson Lane project is getting really close. Delineators should be going in this week. The last of the curb ramps have been installed. The path has been painted a bright green color. Many people say that's an interesting choice, but that is the nationally recognized symbol for bike paths, as recommended by Federal Highway Administration and the National Association of City Transportation Officials. So there is a method to that madness. It's becoming the recognized color for bike paths. Draws your attention to the fact that there could be bicycles in and adjacent to the right of way there. So I know we've heard some people asking about why is it green. That's the reason it's green. With that, last but certainly not least, the Leap District Road project updates. Wht Road South continues construction at this point. The northbound lanes are complete up to 375. Then you have double lanes complete around the curve onto 375 up to the railroad tracks. They're working on the southbound lanes and scheduled to have those complete and open to traffic by Thanksgiving. This week did mark the closure of 300 North, though, for the tie-in of the roundabout. So by Monday, or by the weekend, we should have that roundabout tied in to 300 North and 300 North open through the new roundabouts.
On that, Kevin, can you take Wht Road up to 300 North and go and go west, or is it?
I believe you can, as of like a few moments ago. There was some issue with a storm sewer in the area that required some emergency closure there to do that work, and that was unexpected. We thought we would keep that intersection open all day today, but it had to close for some drainage improvements. But as of an hour and a half ago, I was told they were pouring the concrete and plating the crossing, and that should be open by now. But I did not have time to run up and see it before.
Because it's
the
closed for
meeting.
about a week, right? To do the,
The rest of the road will be closed, but the intersection at 300 and Wht will be open.
so if you're in Lebanon trying to get to 52, go out 250 north on Wht and then go west on 300 then.
Correct.
Okay.
I think that's it. Well, there's the CSX improvements that are scheduled to start on Monday, the 4th, at the 375 and the 450 north closure. Those will take approximately a month. And once those are done, then Milestone will come back in and do the final surfacing up to the railroad crossings. So we have to wait now for CSX to kind of get out of the way, finish their work, and then we'll put the final coat of asphalt on. Again, we're hopeful that they're just being cautious about their time frame, that it takes a month, but we'll still be ready to put that asphalt down right around the 1st of November, or excuse me, 1st of December if we need to. That's all I have.
Any questions for Kevin from the board? From the public? Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next is Planning Department, Ben Bontrager.
Good evening, board members. Since the last Board of Works meeting, the Planning Department completed 117 building inspections and issued 30 permits. Of those 30 permits, there was one new single-family home, so we are still seeing some new residential activity, and 5 new commercial industrial permits, so still seeing very strong activity related to the commercial industrial projects. Moving forward, although we are starting to see a little bit of the fall-winter slowdown that we anticipate every year. So we're definitely starting to get into that season. On the code enforcement side, still a lot of strong activity. Over the last couple of weeks, there were 122 investigative activities, ranging from sending out courtesy notices or emails, or completing inspections and re-inspections out in the field. And also had 62 new cases. So still seeing a lot of activity there. And of course, grass and weed season is kind of done at this point. So we're seeing a lot of trash and debris, junk vehicles, and then now sign violations. We're seeing quite a bit number of sign violations recently. So that's a lot of good strong activity there. Then just to finish off my report, I did want to give a quick, I guess we'll call it a year-end summary of the Elevate Lebanon program, which is our partnership with Habitat for Boone County to assist homeowners with repairs to their homes. And so we, this year, were able to identify and complete 3 projects. The total investment is just right around $23,000. Number of volunteer hours is about almost 400 volunteer hours amongst the 3 projects from Habitat and some city volunteers. So a lot of great things were able to be accomplished. Projects range from just power washing existing decks and siding, to staining decks, to installing storm doors, to repairing or replacing gutters, painting garages. So even built a deck on the back of one house. The back door is about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground and never had access to it out to the backyard. So they actually built a deck and stairs out the back. And then also did a total deck and roof replacement on one house as well. So a lot of good things happening there. We did send out a flyer probably about a couple months ago to everybody in the city with some information about the program. Habitat was flooded with about 20 or 30 inquiries at that time. I probably should have given them a heads up before we sent that out. But the calls resulted in what will likely be about 4 projects to get in line for spring 2025. So they're working on identifying those projects now and what the scope of those would be. So really excited going into 2025 for some additional projects for that program. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next will be Public Works Department. Jason Lawson.
Good evening. Since our last meeting, the street department continued our mowing of easements and right-of-way. Hopefully this will be the last time, possibly, with the weather coming in. Cleaned up trash from all our city right-of-ways. They were put up 8 street signs. We completed the final brush week of 2024, picking up 32,420 pounds of brush. And then we we're working on finishing up our street sweeping for this quarter. The Stormwater Department, they continued on phase 2 of the Dick Street Drainage Project. They worked on a catch basin at 602 Park Street where they had to remove some bad concrete and re-pour it around it. We had to take our backhoe out to the bike park and we set some the big rocks around the sign out there. So the stormwater guys did that for us. So we appreciate that. And they responded to 210 utility locates. So upcoming is we have a 2024 leaf season schedule. We do have a leafer out this week that they're kind of playing with and getting what's out. But we'll start officially next week, next Monday on the 4th. We'll be out full force. One other thing I wanted to update you on, staff, we're working with Rob on updating the stormwater ordinance, very early conversation about it. So there'll be more to come on that. And Scott Calvert is going to come next month to the meeting and present the stormwater technical standards. For the inspections department, they did 8 SWIP inspections, 10 right-of-way inspections, and have 5 active stormwater sites.
Jason? Any questions for Jason from the board? Public? Yeah, thanks, sir. All right, and last but not least, communications and community development, Jill LePage.
Evening, everyone. Recapping kind of a busy weekend throughout our city. As Kevin and John both mentioned, the Stone Eater Bike Park opening. The City Communications Department worked to facilitate the ribbon cutting for that event, to take some pictures as well, some marketing, and the distribution of some promotional items as well. Mariah Sam took a lot of great pictures, and you'll be seeing those in the next coming days. Also, the Communications Department, Mariah was at Pumpkins in the Park at Memorial Park, and Mariah and I were both at Mischief on Meridian, taking some pictures and also helping out with the teardown of the event. Also, we continue to work with Placer AI. You may remember that we had some money left over from our Eclipse event, and we're partnering with them. The training continues. We do have basic information about gathering initial crowds throughout our community and the number of people that visit them. Not only the Eclipse from this past year, but also a couple of events you've heard from tonight, Mischief on Meridian, and also the bike park as points of interest within our community. And so we'll be reaching out to various organizations to help them see the number of people that have attended past events, and based on past numbers and present ones as well, seeing and developing trends. And so with Battle of the Barbecue, that type of thing, we can go back and look how things are stacking up and how events are growing throughout our community. And so working on ways to maximize our profile and our partnership with Placer AI. And finally, tomorrow's episode of the Love and Lebanon podcast will feature Jennifer Nevitt. She is with Bel Canto Asset Growth Fund. She talks about the Hickory Cottages project that's near and right next door to the Farmers Bank Fieldhouse. She shares in some of the insights. She's an Indiana kid, so she's seen a lot of the comments, colorful ones that have been placed on social media throughout our community. So she addresses some questions, some options, and also shares how much interest has picked up in that particular project as well. If you'd like to be featured on our Love and Lebanon podcast, Love and Lebanon at lebanon.in.gov is the place for that. And one final throw in, want to give a shout out to Lauren Argate. She was finished sixth in the nation at the National FFA Convention. This is a huge deal, big deal, never happened. A Lebanon kiddo has never finished this well. She's a great kid, and it's a great honor for her, and so I want to say way to go, Lauren. So she does a great job with us as well. That's all I've got.
Hey, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board, from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. We'll move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda. Is there anything from the board? Okay, new business then. First item here, this is kind of a quick one. This is relating to this board's appointment to the Planning Commission. We were reviewing our planning commission has has 9 members on it, Kevin, I believe, Rob, yeah. And so some of those come from mayoral appointees. Some of them are, there's a Parks Board appointee, there's a city engineer appointee, or Kevin can be on it. So they come from a lot of different bodies. And so we were kind of reviewing all of the names on it. And I think there's some confusion in the past because this board actually has an appointee to the planning commission as well. And so we wanted to make sure there were some people had come off the board. And so we were trying to, again, clarify who was appointed by who. And because there was a vacancy that Brian Tandy had stepped off, and we thought it was a mayoral appointee, but it came back, it was a Board of Works appointee. So we wanted to kind of cross all of our T's and dot our i's going forward with that. And I have a candidate to propose to you. And if you guys are willing to approve that, we try to do that tonight as well, just to kind of make that official. The person I thought I initially appointed, but we're proposing to you tonight. Her name is Denise Niblick. She is a younger person in our community. She's got 2 kids. She's very passionate about connectivity, walkability, very passionate about bicycles and kind of incorporating that infrastructure into our system. Brings a kind of different perspective, very active in a lot of our downtown organizations as well too, Heart of Lebanon, things like that. So again, just trying to bring different perspectives and different, and frankly, try to get some more young people that are passionate about Lebanon and our community to, get involved in our different boards. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions on behalf of Denise, or if you guys are cool with that appointee, would entertain a motion to appoint Denise Niblick to the Plan Commission.
I'll make a motion that we.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, I will inform, and Ben, will you inform Denise that she's officially been appointed? All right, with that, I know we've got some people in the crowd waiting for some topic here. So consent from the board to take the agenda out of order? Consent? Okay. Sure. All right, I'm gonna move item E up. This is bid opening concerning the Admiral Longley Memorial Park pickleball reconstruction. Kevin?
Thank you so much. I could, sorry, I thought I had my screen already pulled up here. Give me 1 second to log in.
I kind of surprised you, didn't I?
No, you're okay. I had this earlier and for some reason I must have closed that window. So 1 second here, I'll get back into that. We can share the screen now. I think we're here. Okay, so this is our online bid platform that I think you're all aware of now. We are opening bids tonight for our the Parks Department pickleball tennis court improvement project. And as you see there were 2 bids that were submitted. And at this point, we will go ahead and go through this quick process here to digitally open them. So we have 2 bids, one submitted from Globe Asphalt Paving and one submitted from PCC Sports. Let's see, we will now you to accepted. And we can see there that the submittal deadline was 3 p.m. today. Both of those were submitted before the 3 p.m. deadline. There's a lot of alternates that we bid on this, but you can see the bids there in columns on the right, the Globe Asphalt Paving bid and the PCC Sports. For the interest of not trying to, I guess, go through all the nuance of this, I'm gonna go down here to this line here. That was a total lump sum for both Memorial Park and Admiral Longley Park. And so we have a proposal from Globe for $529,000 and a proposal from PCC Sports for $1,050,510. But knowing PCC Sports, I believe this is for a post-tension concrete submittal that was one of the alternates that we could potentially choose from. But again, it appears that the low bid, the apparent low bid at this time is Globe Asphalt Paving at $529,000. We will review this per all the bidding criteria and come back to you with a recommendation for who is the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder at the next meeting. I should note that our estimates that we based our food and beverage request for this project was $477,976. So the $529,000 bid from Globe is in that ballpark. So, and there are alternates in here that were intentionally put in there to adjust that price. So we'll come back to you again with a recommendation as to what our final award basis will be off of, whether it's base and which alternates we will accept.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay. Do we need a motion to accept those or just that we'll review those in our next meeting?
I think we're good. We've opened them. That's all we needed to do tonight.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, I guess you got more stuff here, don't you? All right, we'll go back to a regular order. Next will be the change order, contract change order approval concerning Fordyce Road.
I have two change orders for Fordyce Road. The first one is change order number 7. And this is for an additional sanitary manhole that was required on the job. And the total on this one is $10,570.37. So again, this is change order 7 for Milestone Contractors, totaling $10,570.37. Would recommend you accept and approve this change order.
Is there a number on this change order?
It is, it's number 7, but I'm noticing as I'm looking at the heading on the paper here that item is left blank. But I assure you it is number 7.
Questions on that from the board? Concerns?
If there's questions as to why we may be out of order, that's because there's a lot of pending change orders that just aren't ready to be accepted or in various forms of negotiation at this point. So that one is change order number 4.
Okay. Is it for tonight also?
It is also for tonight.
Okay, tonight.
So there are 2 change orders for the Fordyce
Okay.
project. So that is the first one, and then there is a second one, but I wanted to just take them one at a time, if that's okay.
Any questions on change order number 7 then from the board? Okay. We entertain a motion then to accept and approve change order number 7 concerning the Fordyce Road project.
Approve change order number 7 to Milestone Contractors in the amount of $10,370.37, correct?
Correct.
And 570.
570,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
570, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that one's approved. Another change order?
Then the other change order is change order number 4, and this is related to additional sanitary sewer work that had to do with the sewer service associated with the daycare or the base center in the former Masonic Lodge there just west of Centenary United. And this one totals $51,656.20. Again, all of these are within contingencies that we have in the bond, or some of these are partially being covered. Part of the expenses are being covered by Lebanon Utilities as well.
What's the number, change order number?
Change order number 4 for $51,656.20.
Questions on that from the board? Would entertain a motion then to accept and approve change order number 4.
I make a motion that we accept and approve change order number 4 for $51,656.20.
Motion approved. Is there a second? A second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's approved. All right, that concludes Fordyce Road change orders?
It does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next then will be change orders concerning Elizaville Road drainage project.
Yes, we had some additional last minute redesign on our storm sewer at the request of one of the homeowners adjacent to the project to avoid some trees, which we were happy to do that. But it did add a couple of additional storm sewer structures to the project. And so what we have before you tonight is a change order number one, totaling $10,163. This is for McCullough Excavating. Again, change order number one for storm sewer, $10,163.
Questions on that from the board? Entertain a motion then to accept and approve change order number one concerning the Wht Road drainage project.
To accept and approve change order number one, the sum of 10,000.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved. Is all change orders? Good.
Those are all the change orders.
Okay. All right, next item is streetlight installation on Anderson Lane. Kevin?
Thank you. I will share my screen for this so you can see what we're talking about. The Anderson Lane project. There are a number of utility poles along Anderson Lane. And so all we're asking for is permission to install LED lights on 11 of those existing overhead utility poles to light up the corridor better. We've had some complaints about with the new improvements there that additional lighting would be beneficial. So it's something that's pretty easy to do. We have a standing agreement with Lebanon Utilities that they install streetlights as long as we're talking about non-decorative LED Cobra head style streetlights. They install them at their cost. And then we have an agreement. I was able to get the actual numbers. I know you were asking me today. We pay $5.10 per month for every light that we run in the city as a street light. So I'm proposing to add 11 additional 108 watt LED streetlights at a cost of $510 a month. Again, that's just the operating expense. We have no upfront install costs associated with this. But there would be a $56.10 a month charge. That is also on the council agenda as being the fiscal body, but you control the rights of way. So I'm asking for your permission to install these lights in the right of way. So pending acceptance, I guess, of the financial responsibility.
So are these all on the north side of Anderson Lane then?
Yes, they are. Well, yes, they are. Sorry.
I mean, was there any concern of putting them on the south side too, or we think the light will be enough for both?
I think it'll be enough. These are tall utility
because it's
poles.
Cobra
These are
head.
way up in the air. They'll throw light a long way. So.
Okay. Questions, concerns about that from the board? Okay. Entertain a motion then to approve the streetlight installation along Anderson Lane, pending council financial approval of the project.
I'll make a motion, we approve the streetlight installation on Anderson Lane.
Motion approved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. All right, that I believe concludes what I have on my agenda. Is there anything from the board?
Mayor, can I ask Kevin one question?
Yeah.
Could you look into 250 North west of the tracks
Okay.
and see if there's any, it's pretty dark from the tracks to Wht Road.
Okay. Yeah.
See if there's something we could do to light that up, that little section.
Yeah, it'd probably be a similar proposal
Yeah,
that we would bring
exactly.
back to you. I can look at that and have it for your next meeting.
Yeah, take a look at it one of these
Yep.
days. Okay.
Any questions? Okay, with that, we'll move on to claims. Would entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Motion to approve the claims. Is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, those claims are approved. And with that, any public comment? Okay, we entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion adjourns. Is there a second? Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Our next Board of Works meeting will be Tuesday. We are delayed today because of Veterans Day. So Tuesday, November 12th at 5:30 PM. City Council's up next. We are adjourned.